What's up, ADHD crew? There's been a bit of confusion over my use of medication, but I just want to clear that up in this video so that I can help people to understand my choices and my rationale behind going off the medications at the time, and also why I chose to go back on it after some time. Now, if you've seen some of my older videos, you'll know that I've taken Concerta, Strattera, and Vyvanse. Now, obviously in the end they didn't work out for me in the long term, especially Strattera, but I had a pretty good run with Concerta, or methylphenidate. I thought that worked really nicely up until it just basically stopped working. So that's why I changed over to Vyvanse. So then when I transitioned to Vyvanse, the first few weeks was quite intense because I think that I should have been on a lower dose than 30 milligrams, but that's actually the starting dose, it seems, so I don't think I could have gone any lower. So really, 30 milligrams seemed to be too much for me. Within the first few weeks, the side effects were strong. I had all the negative stuff like the clenching jaw, the insomnia, the extreme irritability, the moodiness, the quick temper. It was just unpleasant. Although at the same time, I was torn because it had this brilliant effect on my motivation, my persistence, and my drive. So I was at a crossroads. I thought in some ways, and this is the same for all stimulants, in some ways it just benefits you so much. It makes you a much better worker, it makes you better able to take information on board, memorize things, but I find with stimulants it can have a really powerful effect on your emotions, which is the one thing I dislike about it the most. So as you can understand, this is why I went off the medications, because I was tired of the side effects, right? It makes sense. So if you've had a poor night's sleep and you've eaten a bunch of sugar and you've had too much caffeine, you're going to have a bad experience because those stimulants really turn it up a notch. But now that I'm back on it, I've noticed that the side effects have really worn down. But what I noticed when I came off the medication was that I was just nowhere near as productive. The brain fog came back, the apathy came back, just a complete lack of energy, and I just felt like I was in a constant state of daydream. It's really profound noticing how different I am on the medication versus off. Today I am actually off my medication, and I have been for the last 2 days because I've actually run out of medication. So yeah, I'm noticing a big difference now that I'm off the medication. I notice a big difference in my productivity, and it's taken me all day to wake up, and I just feel so much slower. It's just amazing how different I am when I'm off it. And I really notice it's kind of like being hard of hearing or having poor eyesight, except it's of the mind. I'd be sort of transitioning from one thought to the other and everything would just sort of be blurry, and I've just felt really unable to fixate on anything. It's just like I'm in a daze. But what I like about myself off the medication is that I'm just chill, but the caveat is that I'm just too chill for my own good, hence being inattentive. So I thought to myself, you know what, even though the side effects sucked, I really think I do need it. But I think a lot of it has to do with the strategy you have with your medications. Like if you're not getting enough sleep, you're taking it too late in the day, you're not looking after yourself adequately enough, it'll make the side effects seem worse. So what I tend to do now is I just have a day or two off a week just to keep the medication working well, and so that I can decrease any build-up of side effects. Because I notice when I take it consecutively every single day, I do get a bit of a build-up of side effects, and that can be things like poor sleep. So it's absolutely harmless to have 1 or 2 days off a week just to allow your body to recuperate, give your central nervous system a break, and allow your body to get back to homeostasis. So that in a nutshell is why I returned to it, because I just thought, well, I'm just so much more productive. I'm really missing out on not being my best self when I'm off it. And there's only so much that exercise and healthy eating can do. While it's still important and it can give you that edge, it's definitely not a fix. And the medications, unfortunately, it just helps like nothing else. So I hope that clears up some of the confusion and gives you some insight into what I've been doing. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment below.